Well, thanks for traveling down here and covering us, guys. Just really proud of our team, of our coaching staff, our support staff, everybody that's involved with the program. It's a big win on the road in the Big Ten. Excited for our guys. Really, really good back-to-back performances in the Big Ten Conference. It's good stuff. I'll try to answer your questions.
Greg, just what has kind of stood out about the way that this team responded to adversity over the course of the season? Now, like you said, to have these back-to-back performances, becoming bowl eligible for a second straight year, I guess, what have you kind of thought about the way that they've handled all this?
Well, I think they really are an unselfish group that play for each other. I mean, you guys know we're down a lot of guys right now, right? But other guys are stepping up, and to see the guys that have experience help those guys that don't. I think that's really cool as a coach. Yeah, it's good stuff.
What does it mean for this program to be bowl eligible back-to-back years and kind of continue the momentum from last year?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, that's one of the goals, right? I think every guy in that room would tell you getting to a bowl was not the goal this year, right? But it's all relative, right? When you haven't been to a bowl in a long time, then the bowls, and never take that stuff for granted. But I was just really thrilled with the way that after you win four, then you lose four. That thing could go either way, and the way they bonded together, the staff, the players, all of us together. I think it's a defining moment for our team, for our program. Now we just need to keep moving forward. We know what we got coming next week, a really good Illinois team, so doesn't get easier in this league, right? That's what I love about it. And, we got banged up today. As you saw, some guys had to leave the field, so we'll assess that when we get back home. But for right now, we're just enjoying it.
What did you think of Ethan's performance today and just the way he put everything together? It kind of seemed like it was one of his better days.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. I think he's been getting better and better all season, though. I've seen his progression. I get to see him every day in practice, so it's a little different than you guys, But I've seen his progression. I think he's really getting more and more comfortable. I think the receivers are getting better. I think, the whole offense is getting better. We're improving. So Ethan is a big part of that for sure, and I'm proud of him. Guys told me that he went over 2,000 yards today, so it's good in this league, so proud of him.
Kyle, back-to-back years, 1,000 yards rushing. Ray Rice is in the building. He's the first one to do it since Ray. I think they shared a little bit moment after the game. Just what is the significance, for this program, the history of it, to see Kyle do that, Ray to be in the building, just the entire meaning of all of it?
Yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. I think how much I love Ray, and I know you know how much I love Kyle. And I just was messing around with them both there in the training room, the training tent. It was fun. They're just telling stories and laughing. When you win, everything's fun. And to have those two guys together, that'll be memorable.
Greg, you were 3 for 3 on fourth down. Do you feel like how much has your confidence grown in what this offense can do, and kind of to lean on it in those moments and to believe that can happen?
Yeah, you got to believe in your guys. I said we were going to be aggressive, and we've been aggressive. And when it works, you're what a great call. And when it doesn't, how could you do that? Like, that's life, right? And what we always, what I always say to you guys is, you make the best decision you can at the time with the current information that you have. And that's what I try to do all the time. I think my hat is off to both the offense and the defensive staff. Coach Shiraka again continues to lead the offense with his staff, which is just a tremendous group of men. And then Coach Harasimiak, same thing, right? To hold, I guess Minnesota scored 19, I guess, and these guys, that's a heck of an offense right there, right? And our guys made the plays when we needed to make them. I thought that was evident, right? Whether it was on offense or defense, or in the kicking game. I mean, Jack Scullion kicked every ball as a touchback. I mean, they got some really dangerous returners, right? So to pound that thing deep every time, into the wind, with the wind, that's huge. And our punter, these are true freshmen that are out there doing the job. Jake Anderson. I mean, that was outstanding job. You know, they do a good job on special teams. I know they put a lot of emphasis on it. They work on it. They've given us issues over the years. So all three phases, really proud. Eddie Allen, you know, leading the special teams and does a great job. So you look at that, the leadership of our team, the players, playing for each other.
You mentioned before that the season could have went one way or the other after the 4 wins, 4 bounce back to bye. What does it say about guys like Aaron Lewis and leadership on this team, Aaron Powell, guys like that, that made sure that that kind of didn't happen?
Well, you know, it's been hard because we've had such inconsistency with who's been able to play. So, you know, Reem was out at the beginning, then he came back, then he was out again. Like, it's hard to lead when you're not playing. And it's hard to lead when you're not playing well. You know, if you're injured and you're not playing well, it's hard to do that because you're just trying to get your game back or get back on the field if you're in the training room. So that made it kind of a rocky time. You know, we continue to lose some guys, but I think we got some of our leaders back. And I thought, without watching it, I don't know, but it just felt like the old Aaron out there a little bit. And we're going to need him down the stretch to do the things that we want to do. So I was glad to see that.
And Onhaan Loyel had another big game, 13 tackles on the day. I mean, in that second half, seemed like Maryland got some momentum down the field and then just kind of stopped once they got towards the red zone. What do you think was the biggest catalyst in that throughout the second half?
I just think Shaquan's working his tail off. You know, he's been hurt and playing in pain, as I've expressed to you guys. I think he's feeling a little better after the bye. But, like, you know, that interception was a heck of a play. Now we got a holding call on it, but what a great tracking the ball as a middle safety to go make that play on that ball. So, he's starting to get back to being his old self too, which, again, the things that they were playing with, I wouldn't call, you know, they were hurt. They were playing hurt. And I commendable because they love this program and this team that they would do that. But as guys start to feel a little better, I think they get back to playing the level that we are accustomed to.
Tyler Needham, obviously out for the year. That's 2 starting offensive linemen. How do you think that unit kind of adjusted to, you know, Taj White had to move to right tackle, Dante Chin had to come in. How do you think they just adjusted to the change, and how do you think that's going to move going forward in the last 2 games in the bowl game?
Yeah, it's hard to tell how they did, you know, without watching the video. I'll watch it on the bus ride home, but something went right. You know, we scored how many points we scored, so we did something right. And, you know, scoring points in the red zone too, I think critical, right? You get down there and you punch the ball in, you win the game by 7s. So it was good stuff. But I'll have to look at that. You know, the O-line it's getting thin, right? So we really have to. And then, you know, you talk about, you know, Logan Blake. He gets hurt, so now we're 3 tight ends down. I was proud of Mike. Mike stepped up, and you know we're just gonna have to keep going. That's life in the Big Ten.
Final question.
Just in addition to the defense getting healthier in spots, I guess, what was Joe able to do during that bye week to kind of rebuild this thing and get these guys back believing again and get their confidence and swagger back to, you know, have 2 straight performances that were pretty solid?
I think the biggest thing Joe did is he just made himself totally vulnerable to the players, to me, to the defense. He just went to work, you know, and said, all right, what do we got to do to play the kind of defense we want to play? It wasn't like we made seismic shifts, just little adjustments. When you have a lot of guys injured and you're playing some other guys or you're playing guys that are hurt, then you start to patch those problems, which were never problems before. But you got to patch them because with who you're playing with or the guys that are playing hurt. And you look up and you're way off course. You know, we made this little tweak to help this problem, this little tweak, and now you look up and it's not what you know. And I think just literally stripping it down, as I said last week, and building it back up from the studs. All right, what can we do? You know, he and I talked. I said there's long-term solutions and there's short-term. We don't. Right now, it's not about long-term. We'll have a whole off season to do that. Right now, it's about what can we fix here in the next week, the bye week. And then I was really proud of the way he galvanized that unit and the staff. They're playing for each other. This whole team's playing for each other. So it's special. But like I said, I'm blessed. I got the 2 best coordinators in the country with Joe and Kirk. And, you know, Eddie Allen runs the special teams, did a great job. So, like, you talk about having a staff. And then you know my rest. I just proud of them, and like I said, really proud of the players. They stepped up. That was all them out there playing for each other. So it's a win. We'll enjoy it, but it's one win. And now we get back to New Jersey, and tomorrow, we'll get back real late, so we got to make sure we get these guys rested up. I haven't seen a score, so I don't even know what anybody else did, but I'm sure Illinois will have a rest advantage on us, so we got to get home and get to sleep. But I appreciate, like I said, as always, guys, appreciate you covering us, and yeah, feels different than the last time I sat at this table. So that's a positive, right? Thanks, guys.